The what, why, and wow of the car world. A MotoMan Minute begins now.
I want to demonstrate the differences between these two cars. I want to bet this jacket that you can't.
New Evora jacket.
You can't beat my 0 to 60 ton. But what are you going to give me in return?
Well, let me see. I think I have something that you might want. Your very own MotoMan hat, complete with your name on it.
You're not going to get this jacket.
Well, you're not going to get this hat.
Okay, let me talk you through some of the changes on the Evora S. Let's start with the engine. The engine is 345 horsepower, which is 70 horsepower more than the base car. There's also about a 30% increase in torque.
Who does the supercharger?
It's a Harrop supercharger. Also, we have the rear diffuser, which is a much more aggressive looking diffuser.
Very cool.
We put a new exhaust system on the car. It has a valve in the exhaust system which allows us to reduce the exhaust back pressure. You need to be able to reduce the back pressure of the exhaust, and having the engine protection valve allows us to do that.
3, 2, 1, and go. And cut. Time to beat 4.9.
Let me talk you through some of the changes on the front axle. Start with the brakes. The brakes are common between the two cars. We always knew that we were going to go up to 350 horsepower, so the thermal performance of the brakes was always enough to be able to accommodate that change. Pointing to the front lower rearward bush position, we've increased that bush stiffness by 15%. The reason we do that is to reduce some of the suspension compliance, to improve steering feel. We only do it in one location because if we put the bush stiffness in all locations, it would have damaged the ride too much on the front axle. The spring rate is common between the two cars. The only changes we've made on the suspension, as well as the front damping characteristics, have changed because we want to improve the vehicle response and reduce the body control. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, 2/10 slower than me. And not only that, the clutch stinks on my car. Let me talk you through the biggest changes to the suspension, which is on the rear axle. We have the 15% stiffer bush in all locations, so all the 4 locations on the wishbones. Okay, and what that does is that basically stiffens the rear of the car laterally. So as a driver puts an input in, there's less delay in the car. He gets an immediate connection to the rear axle. The other thing we've done is we've changed the rear anti-roll bar. It's increased by 0.5 millimeter. And what that does is increases the rear roll stiffness of the car, again to connect to the driver earlier. The damping characteristics on the rear axle have changed as well, so the damping force is slightly higher than the base car, again to improve body control and reduce the roll angle in the car.
So to sum it all up, what's the biggest difference here?
Because there's higher stiffness laterally, the suspension doesn't move as far as it would on this car. So as soon as the driver puts an input in, he gets an immediate connection.
And 3, 2, 1, and go. Ooh, time to beat 4.4. Matthew, you must have paid a fortune in extra baggage fees on the way over here.
I got a friend at Gatwick. Okay, base wheels and tyres are 18-19 inch. You use a P0 pattern, which was one of Pirelli's high performance tyres. But for the Evora S, we have developed an optional 19 and 20 inch P0 Corsa tyre. P0 Corsa has a unique inscription on the side, which is LS. It's a bespoke tyre we've developed with Pirelli. If you look at the two tyre patterns on the rear axle, the block section on the rear is much wider. And what that does is it gives you improved lateral stiffness, which again connects to the driver earlier and better. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. I don't think I can tell you. I think your head's going to explode.
You really have to gloat about it, don't you?
It's lovely. But there's just one more thing I need to show you what the S does better.